I am very excited for this video. In this video, we are going to be stocking our freezer the first time with our $20 that we usually use for our pantry. If you guys have watched any of my previous videos, you know that I am on a little journey to build out my pantry on a budget. And this week, instead of purchasing items for the pantry, which I usually purchase like flour, sugar, shelf-stable milk, different things like that. It is a working pantry, so I'm constantly using those things in my cooking. This week, I just wanted to try to focus on my freezer. So what I'm learning as I'm building out my pantry is that I can cook all the pancakes from scratch. I can make all the bread from scratch that I want to, but there is a gap, and the gap is that I need help with my freezer. I need meals in my freezer for nights that maybe I don't feel like cooking, or I want to use them as part of my my weekly meal plan. I just need to focus as well on stocking my freezer with freezer meals just as much as I am trying to stock my pantry with items that I use on a daily basis. So this is the first week that we are going to be doing some meal prep, freezer prep meals. So I have 3 things that I want to get done tonight. Let me go over what I'm going to be working on for my freezer meal preps. So I shopped at my local meat market, and I did just like I did every week. I had $20. So I chose a pound. It's just under a pound of ground beef. It was $5.80. I grabbed chicken breasts. These are 2 nice sized chicken breasts, and that was $4.84, and it's just under 2 pounds, which is a great deal. And then I got a big family pack of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and that was $11.01, and it was 2.76 pounds. And then I also grabbed a 2 zucchinis to go along with this meal that I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to cook. So these were the 4 items that I grabbed today for this meal prep. So with the ground chuck, I was going to make stuffed cabbage. I was going to season this up, cook up some rice, make the stuffed cabbage, but I don't feel like it anymore. I'm tired. It's been a long day. But what I'm gonna do is I am just going to chop up some bell peppers, onions. I'm gonna cook that down. I'm gonna season it. I'm gonna cook that down, and that is gonna be just some ground beef on hand for if we wanna do things like taco night. If I want to make some nachos, if I want to use it for spaghetti, it'll be in the freezer and ready for me for whatever I want to do. For the chicken breast, I am going to do a chicken stir fry. I made chicken stir fry, I think last week on my meal plan. Yeah, it was last week for my meal plan, and it was so good. It was pretty simple to make. I used zucchini. This is not the zucchini from last week. This is the zucchini I just picked up. And I used some broccoli that I had and an onion. And I grilled up my broccoli, zucchini, and onions. And then I, stirred that all up. And then I added the soy sauce. So I'm just gonna recreate that meal, and that will be my second meal. Or it's not gonna be, so everything is not going to be a whole meal. A lot of this is going to be meat. It's gonna be prepped meat. Some meat is going to be cooked, some meat is not gonna be cooked. I just need to figure out, if I have the time and the energy, what it is that I wanna do. But this gives me the option to start slowly getting in meat in the freezer. So when I grocery shop, I usually just shop for the week at hand. I meal prep and, you know, I cook up my food, I cook up our meals, and then I'm ready for the next week to start all over again. But I need a little bit of a buffer. So if something happens and I'm sick, or like I said, if there's a night when I come home and I don't feel like cooking anything, or if there's something that happens and I don't have the money to grocery shop for the week or something, I need freezer meals. I need meals that are gonna sustain me and my family for anything. And so what I'm gonna do with the chicken chicken thighs, I am going to, I'm gonna wash these up. I'm gonna remove the fat, I'm gonna trim down the fat, and I am just going to marinate this chicken. I have two marinades, two things that I wanna do. I'm gonna do some, like a chimichurri sauce, and I am going to use my barbecue sauce, and yeah, I'll divvy that up, and that will be that. So let me stop talking. Let me go ahead and start getting this cooking session underway, and stick around with me and cook with me for a little while. All right? Sorry guys, I don't have the best lighting. That'll be something that I will work on as time goes on. I'm just cutting down my onions and bell peppers. This is for, like I said, this is for the ground beef. I'm just starting here, but I probably am gonna start the chicken stir fry next, because that's gonna take the longest to cook, and it probably is gonna take the longest to cool down. It's about, it's 7:40 guys, and so I wanna hurry up and get this done. I'm happy to do it, but I am a little tired, so I wanna get this done so I can relax for the rest of the evening. So that is that. I'm gonna just put this in a bowl for now. I will put this. So I have a little garbage bag that I have just so I can just throw everything in as I am cooking. I'm gonna set this to the side for a second, and I'm gonna work on my chicken. These are really nice sized chicken breasts. They're huge. I'm curious to know what are some things that, if you do meal prep, what are some things that you meal prep for your freezers? I want to meal prep spaghetti. I want to meal prep like meatloaf. I want to do pizza. So many things that you can do, but what are some things that you guys do? Let me know down in the comments. All right, so we have our chicken breast ready to go. We still have to clean and cut down our chicken thighs, but before I do that, I want to wash this down, disinfect this area, and I want to cut up everything that I need for the stir fry. I have zucchini, broccoli, and an onion, and I want to chop that up because I want all that working while I am cleaning the thighs. All right, so next, let me clean up the zucchini and the broccoli. So I cleaned everything down, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop up my broccoli and my zucchini down to the size that I want to grill it up. Just cutting off a little bit of the end of the broccoli. I don't like that part. I have my griddle heating up, and I am going to saute, or I'm gonna grill these up a little bit on my griddle. Last time I did that, and I think it gave the vegetables so much more flavor. So So I'm gonna take the time to do that now. I could just throw everything in the pan and let it all cook down like that, but I really did like the flavor of it, like the grill flavor of it. So let me go ahead and get the zucchini chopped up. So I just cut the zucchini in half, and then I like half it again down the middle. So I usually get like 4 strips from one zucchini, and then I just dice it in little cubes, bite-sized cubes. All right, the zucchini is done. Again, I have a little baggie. I'm just throwing all my garbage in. All right, so I've had a chance to kind of reset, wipe everything down, disinfect, and just try to get a little bit more organized because I felt like I was super unorganized with everything. All the veggies are chopped. I have some broccoli cooking, and I'm waiting for that to finish up. And then I will cook the zucchini and the onion. Here is the broccoli. Just letting that cook up a little bit. It's about done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and season up the chicken a little bit. I don't have to do too much because the soy sauce has a really nice flavor, but you do want to season it up a little bit as I put tons of garlic on here. I like garlic. A little bit of onion powder, adobo, a little bit of pepper, paprika. Let's get that stirred up. I cleaned my bowl and my broccoli is ready. So I'm gonna toss that in here. I'm all out of olive oil, didn't realize it. So I'm just using some coconut oil. I'm gonna add my onions. Oh, turn that back up. I'll probably have to cook this in 2 batches, which is okay. I'm going to season up, gotta season everything. I'm gonna season up the veggies. Just a little garlic powder, and a little salt. Let that cook down. While that is cooking, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start my ground beef. These peppers and onions in for the meat, for the ground beef. Like you saw, the ground beef was just under a pound, so I figured adding in all the vegetables will help to bulk it up, and it will just add great flavor. Alright, and I'm just going to let this brown up for just a few minutes. Looking good. Really good. And just about another 2 more minutes, and these will be done. And then I just have another batch to cook, and that'll probably take another just few minutes. It is a commitment cooking extra meals for the freezer, and you do have to have time to do it. But you have to see, as a mom, you have to, figure that time out that works for you. It may be a Saturday morning, a Sunday afternoon. This is really going to help me out in the future. This is really going to make my day. This is going to help me out so much. on a night that I just don't feel like cooking, or I'm just not sure what to cook, because sometimes it's not always about not knowing, not feeling like cooking. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what to cook. Like, I may cook the same thing over and over again, and it's just like you want a little variety, or, you know, whatever the case may be. This gives me, I've done the hard part up front, where I thought about the recipe, I thought about the meal, and this just helps me out, so I don't have to think. It's one less thing to think about as a mom. You have to think about what you're gonna cook, obviously, and you have to think about, you know, when you go to shop for it, but I'm sure your future self is going to appreciate your efforts. And so, if you can give yourself this gift, that would be wonderful. All right, let's get this off. My chicken is calling me. My area. So once our vegetables are finished, our zucchini and our onions, you can go ahead and add that to our chicken, and we're gonna add the soy sauce, and that meal is done. We're just waiting for these vegetables, the onions and peppers, to finish, you know, cooking down. And we're gonna add the ground beef, cook that up, maybe about 10 minutes, and we're done. The only thing left that we have to do is the chicken thighs, but I'm not cooking those. I'm just cleaning them and putting marinade in the bag, and so that is going to be super simple. We're almost there. All right, so I added the ground beef to my pan, and I'm just getting it mixed up in here. I am gonna add a little bit of seasoning to this. This looks really good, you guys. All right, gonna go in with a little bit of seasoning. Stir this up. I do too many things at one time, but we can manage because we are multitaskers. W sauce. Let me throw a little W sauce in there. Excuse the stove, but this is what it's looking like before I add the soy sauce. I just put the vegetables in, our ground beef, and this is done. So the last thing to do for the stir fry is to go ahead and add the soy sauce. I'm just going to use what's left in this jar. It should be enough. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water. A little taste test. This is the, what is this? This is the ground chicken with the, this is not ground chicken. This is the ground beef with the onions and peppers. Very good. All right, we are finishing up. Now I'm just gonna trim off a little fat from around the edges. We don't really like that fat. And then I am going to get them in my little Ziploc bags. So let me go ahead and get this fat off of this chicken thighs. It's about 9:12. And I have 2 more to go after this. My ground beef and the chicken stir fry, those are on the counter cooling. I wonder if I should just put it in the refrigerator for some, let it cool down, put it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow in the morning, stick them in the freezer. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe I'll do that, because I don't have, if I would have done this earlier in the day, I think I would be fine. but because it's 9 o'clock at night, I do want to let it cool down. So I think that's what I'll do. It would be just like I cook this for dinner. I let it sit out what we eat, and then I, you know, pack up leftovers and put it in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna take that mindset. I'm gonna pack it up, put it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow morning I will put it straight in the freezer. Last one. Yay, I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're a nice sized chicken breast. I keep saying call them chicken breasts. Nice sized chicken thighs. I didn't think that I needed a big gallon bag, so I'm just using this one. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna do, this one has 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, these are a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna do 5. And then these are a really nice size, so I'm gonna do those 4 in there. Let me wash up and we will do the marinades. Just gonna add some garlic pepper, I'm tired. Some garlic powder, onion powder, you know it. Some Lawry's, and a little bit of paprika. The barbecue sauce tastes great, so you really don't need too much seasoning on it, I found. So that's that. So we're gonna add the barbecue sauce and then put some more. Okay. Please don't break on me, bag. Please don't break on me. I don't have to do too much because this this chimichurri sauce has tons of herbs and spices. Oops. So I don't really need to do, too much to it at all. I just added a little bit of garlic and onion powder and a little bit of paprika. So we are going to just want to make sure I get all the chickens. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my receipt. The chicken breast for $4.86. We got the boneless chicken thighs for $11.01. And again, we got the ground chuck for $5.80. And I did also get the zucchini, but she didn't charge me for it because it was a coupon for $3, but they weren't able to process it. So she didn't charge me for the zucchini. So it came all together to $21.67. We have at least 5 dinners. 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 dinners and leftovers for $20. It's more than that, but I can't think anymore because I'm tired. So yeah, we got a lot for $20 to $21. Thank you so much for tuning into my video. I really appreciate it. This is my first time doing a freezer meal like this. I usually do like a breakfast freezer preps. I've done those and I will probably be doing some here coming up shortly. But this is our first $20 for for specifically for meals to go in our freezer. I'm just excited to continue on doing this again and again and again until we build up our pantry and our freezer. Our little motto here on this channel is little by little. I pray that you guys are well and that you are doing all the things that you need to do for your family and your pantries and your freezers. Until next time, bye for now.